Good evening. Um, Feel free to lie down or stay seated for the first part of the practice. So if you're a bit low in energy, you might like to lie down and just perhaps sigh the breath away 2 or 3 times. So make sure that you are in a comfortable position, whether seated or lying down. Just letting go of the day with your out breath. You might like to imagine that invisible fingers are gently massaging your forehead, your scalp, and the tops of your shoulders. And just taking these first few moments to ask yourself, why am I here tonight? So what has brought you to the yoga mat tonight? So I invite you to be clear about your intention, your sankalpa for your practice, your aim or goal, what you hope to achieve. And when you are clear about your sankalpa, your intention, I invite you to repeat that to yourself 3 times. So say it with meaning and the belief that it is achievable. I invite you, when you're ready, to ponder the following questions. Is there a person in my life who gives me hope? And do they know? What's a song that lifts my spirits? What's a song that lifts my spirits? And what's a quote that has inspired me? What's a quote that has inspired me? What has made me feel hopeful in moments of darkness, loss, or grief? What has made me feel hopeful in times of darkness, loss, or grief? Do I straddle hope and hopelessness? Do I straddle hope and hopelessness? And what is my hope for 2023? What is my hope for 2023? So the intention that I have developed for our practice tonight is to focus on the idea of faith and hope, to look at our relationship with faith and hope, and to perhaps cultivate or strengthen this relationship. Jane Goodall has said hope is a survival skill that enables us to keep going in the face of adversity. The psychotherapist and grief expert Julia Samuel has said, hope is a feeling but it's also a plan. And the Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl recognized that hope is directly tied to meaning. Meaning, as I see it, is not only what keeps us going, it's how we can help. Whereas the modern definition of hope is generally synonymous with want or wish, the ancient definition is closer to trust. And if we refer to ancient scriptures, we find hope is part of faith. In particular, the aspect of faith specifically focused on the future. Hope is the prayer that things will change, that change is possible. To me, we can set an intention or have a vision of what we hope to manifest, and then we surrender our personal will to something larger than ourselves. In yoga, this is referred to as Isvara Pranidhana, some form of the divine, God, universal consciousness. So we understand that all of life is a combination of our own individual will, our own efforts, and divine will. That we are not solely in charge of our destiny. So to trust in the idea of divine order, to trust the unfolding of our lives. So to assist us tonight, we're going to integrate the chant Om Shraddhaya Namaha into our practice. Shraddha is the Sanskrit phrase for faith. And this chant, when we work with it, helps us to honor and strengthen our faith. So if you're lying down, I invite you to just bring a little bit of movement into the body, have a little bit of a stretch. And then without rushing, I invite you to come on up to sit. And we're going to work with the chant. So if you are already sitting, I invite you to just rest both hands now over your spiritual heart center. You might like to keep the gaze, the eyes closed if you feel comfortable. And just beginning to direct the breath into your heart center, keeping the skin of the face soft. So Shraddha is said to be found in our heart space, a bright, shining light that can help to cast away fear. See if you can connect with this, feel this, sense this. Fear prevents this light from shining. In the words of Martin Luther King, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. So we're going to work with Om Shraddhaya Namaha 5 times. In a moment, we're going to take the arms out to the side, keeping the palms of the hands facing up, and then we'll draw the hands back to the heart as we chant. So let's exhale all breath to begin. And then breathing in. Om Shraddhaya Namaha. Again. Om Shraddhaya Namaha. 3. 3 more. Om Shraddhaya Namah. Om Shraddhaya Namah. And last one. Om Shraddhaya Namah. Just take a breath there. And then we'll gently fold forward. So whether you're sitting cross-legged or kneeling, or bring the legs now into a diamond shape, just gently coming forward, softening, not pushing, not forcing. That's a wonderful chant to work with, particularly in moments of despair, or when we feel that we're lacking in hope. The other thing we can do at such times is to pray to some form of the divine. And if we are praying, it can be really good to do it out loud, to actually voice our prayer. Okay, I'll come back to meet you. So just gently coming up now and just choosing to stay kneeling. You might be sitting onto a cushion. You might have the legs stretched out in front of you or in a diamond shape. And we're just going to work with a gentle flowing movement. So just taking the arms out to the side. And when you're ready, breathe in as you raise the arms to shoulder height. And as we exhale, we're just tipping over to the left side, like we're swaying in the breeze. So breathe yourself back to center and over to the right side. Inhale. You might like to imagine you're a beautiful plant or a tree or a water reed being moved by the wind. We've had a lot of wind today. I went down to the beach late this morning and was nearly blown away. Strong wind. So just allowing yourself to sway from side to side. And then the next time you move over to the left side, let's hold the stretch, breathing into that right side of the torso. Keep the face soft. Make sure that you're not clenching the teeth. And then breathe yourself back to center and tipping over to the right side. So a few breaths here. Good. And then inhale, come back to center. We're going to move straight into a twist. So we exhale around to the left side and we're holding the twist, turning to look over that left shoulder. Some of you might like to wrap that left arm around your back, reaching towards your right thigh. Tuck the chin in a little so the back of the neck is long. Good. And then inhale, float yourself back to center. And turning to the right. So again, you might wrap that back arm around your back, reaching for your left thigh. Good. Inhale, come back to center and lower the arms. Okay, thought we'd have a go at working with the animal relaxing pose. So it's not the most easy position to get into. So see how you go. Work with a gentler variation if this is a bit challenging, or you can use perhaps a blanket or cushions. So we'll keep the left foot into the groin, and if we can, we bring this right foot around. So the right heel is next to the right buttock cheek. And then we're turning over this left thigh, deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're slowly walking ourselves forward. Don't worry if you're staying quite high. There's no rush to lower yourself down. Just try to soften. Focus on your breath. Soften the shoulders, the upper back. And then slowly coming up, and we'll work with another lateral stretch. So we bring the left hand over to the side, and as we inhale, we lift up onto our knees, and as we exhale, we stretch this right arm up and over the head. Breathe in and exhale, lower yourself back down. So we'll do 2 more of these. So inhale up onto the knees, right arm up and over as you exhale, and sit back down. And 1 more. Good. All right. Now, if this is okay for the knees, we're going to try to lean back, but don't do this if there's if it's bad pain for your. Oops, I've got a cramp. Give your leg a bit of a shake. See how we go with this one. So we just take the hands behind. So again, you might be quite upright. Some of you might be able to come down onto your forearms and hopefully feeling a lovely stretch, particularly into that right thigh, up into the hip flexor. You can look up if that's okay for your neck. Otherwise, just keep looking forward. A few breaths here. And then slowly coming up, and we'll change the legs over. So right foot into the groin. If we can, the left foot comes next to the left buttock. And we're going to turn the torso over this right thigh. And as we exhale, slowly coming forward. And just be conscious of how this side feels. It might feel quite different to the other side. No judgment. Connecting with your breath here. And then slowly coming up, and we're moving into our lateral stretch. So right hand to the side, inhale up onto the knees, lift that left arm up, and exhale over the head. And slowly sit back down. So we'll do 2 more. Breathe in, leaning over to the right side. Exhale, arm goes over the top. And sitting back down. And again. And lower, and then if we can, our little back bend. So taking the hands behind, you might just stay here, or we might be able to come down onto our forearms. Some of you might be able to lie all the way down on the mat. Again, just noticing how this side feels compared to the first side. Breathing into the heart space. Good, and slowly come up. Now let's release the legs and we'll just give the knees a little bit of a rub. It'll work for the knees. A little bit of a massage. And the other one. Good. The legs are shake. And we'll do a little bit of work for the feet and a bit more work for the hips. So we'll place the left ankle, or take the foot over a little bit, on the right thigh. And then we're just going to give that left foot a little bit of a massage. So go right up into your toes, each toe, the tips of the toes, ball of the foot, arches of the foot, middle of the foot. Noticing any particularly sore spots. Down to the heel. Good. And then we're going to take the right hand around the toes. Left hand is on the knee. And we keep that right foot flexed. We're sitting up nice and tall. And we just start to bounce this left leg, working into the hip. Lengthening up through the crown top. And then you can continue with this if you're happy here. If you want to take it a little bit further, we can cradle this foot into the elbow crease, and then the other arm wraps around the knee, and we can just take the whole of the leg from side to side. Still trying to sit up nice and tall. Nice, tall, straight spine. Good. And then we'll slowly release it down, knee, a little bit more of a rub, and then we'll work with the other side. So first of all, we're giving that foot a little bit of a massage. The toes, the tips of the toes, keeping that left foot flexed. And sitting up nice and tall, ball of the foot, and going down the inner and outer arches of the foot. Just notice how this foot feels compared to the left one. Might feel the same, might feel quite different. Middle of the foot, the heel. Thanking our feet for carrying us through the world every day. Good. And then we work into our hip. So the left hand is around your toes, right hand on the knee, and little bounces. Good. And then you can continue this movement, or we place the foot into the elbow crease, the other arm wraps around the knee, and we can swing that leg from side to side. Good. And back to center. Carefully place that foot down, give the knee one more rub. And then either we're going to work with table, another back bend, or if you are not a fan of table, you might like to come down and work with bridge. So come place the back down, semi-supine position, feet stepped up close to the buttocks, and you can work with bridge. Have your arms down alongside you. Otherwise, you can come along with me as we work with table. So the hands are behind. Feet are stepped in, chest moving forward. So again, we don't want this to be happening. Shoulders forward, rounding the back. So chest is forward, shoulders are back. And when we're ready, we're going to inhale and start to lift up. Again, be careful of your neck. So any neck issues, just to look along the body. Otherwise, you can look up towards the sky. And as you exhale, lowering the buttocks down. So breathing in, we lift. And breathing out, we lower. So let's do 5 or 6 more of these. Of course, you can rest whenever you need to. You can always visualize yourselves doing the practice if it's not available on a physical level. Good. Couple more if you'd like to. Same with bridge. And last one. And releasing it down. If you're in bridge, you can bring the knees into the chest and just rock from side to side. If you've done table, you might make a few slow circles with your hands working into the wrists. And reverse. Give it a shake. All right, let's come into extended child. So big toes touching, knees are wide, arms extending forward. Your ears are between your arms. And once you're here, find your breath. So long, smooth inhalation. And a long, smooth exhalation. All right, in a moment, we're going to move into cat and then back into child. And if you like, adding some words to this movement. So exhaling all breath. And then as we breathe in, we're lifting up into cat, breathing in hope or faith, whatever word works for you best tonight. And then we breathe out either despair or it might be fear. So breathing in hope, faith, and breathing out despair, fear. Choose which word resonates with you. Let's keep going. Inhale, hope or faith. Exhale, fear or despair. Let's do 4 more. Hope, faith, fear or despair. Keep going. And last one.
If you prefer, you can continue working with cat. Otherwise, inhale, come up onto all fours, tuck your toes, and we're moving into down face dog pose. And we're going to hold dog. So you might like to bend one leg and then the other. Or just hold dog, fingers spread wide. Feet are at least hip width apart, a little bit pigeon-toed. Letting the head and the neck relax, the face is soft. And your breath is continuing to flow. So 2 or 3 more breaths if you're still here. Otherwise, you can always be down in child pose, having a rest. Good. And let's come down if you're still up and back into child, and just supporting your head with your hands, or you might like to have your arms down alongside you. Take a breath or two here. Okay, let's come up onto all fours once again. And we're going to just have a bit of a stretch for the calves. So we'll take the left leg back and tuck the toes under and just hold this stretch. Good. And then we'll release the left knee down and take the right leg back, toes tucked under, and breathe. Good. All right, release the right knee down. Now you're welcome to repeat the calf stretch, or if you like, even work with a tiger balance. So lifting opposite arm and leg, or the stronger variation is to come into plank. Come along with me. We'll go into plank. And then if you like Vasisthasana 1, our side balance, any shoulder or wrist issues, you won't want to work with our side balance. So perhaps do the gentler option, tiger balance, or just stay with the calf stretch. All right, so if you're coming along with me, we take one leg back, tuck the toes under, and the other leg back. So we're coming into plank. So the body's in a straight line. We'll hold this for 2 or 3 breaths. So shoulders over the wrists. And then we're going to take the left hand into the center of the mat, roll over onto the edge of the left foot. So right foot is stacked on top. Right hand can be on your hip, or you might extend that right arm up. And if you're feeling really steady, you might be able to look up towards that right thumb. Otherwise, just keep looking down. If you're feeling super energetic tonight, you might try lifting that right leg up. Foot is flexed. Breath is flowing. And then lower the foot. We'll come back into plank. And then we'll try the other side. So right hand into the center, rolling onto the edge of the right foot, left foot on top, left hand on your hip. If you like, extending the left arm up and perhaps turning to look up. And you'd like that extra challenge, see if you can lift that left leg up. And breathe, left foot flexed. Good. Lower the foot. Come back into plank. Push back into down face dog pose. And if you'd like to, you can stay here for a few breaths, or when you've had enough, just come down onto your knees and we rest in your favorite version of child. Good. And release. Let's come up and we're going to go have a go at doing a squat. There's a bit of knee and hip and ankle work tonight, so be careful if those areas are not feeling super flash tonight. You might want to work with a gentler option if you don't want to go into the squat. You can always grab a blanket or some cushions to place under your heels if you can only be on the balls of the feet. Some of you might be able to get your heels down. And if that's the case and you've got your balance, you might be able to bring your hands into prayer position at the heart space. And just using the inner elbows to press into the inner knees. So again, we're trying to keep that spine nice and tall and straight. Face relaxed, chin tucked in a little. And we're not staying too long. So when you've had enough, we're going to bring the hands down and we're going to slowly, I'm going to stand sideways, start to come up. So just keep the legs bent to begin and we'll hang forward. You might hold on to the opposite elbow. Just let the head hang down. After a few breaths, you might like to work to straighten the legs, but don't be in a hurry. And then we'll slowly and safely come all the way up. Stretching the arms up overhead. Bringing the palms together and bring the hands down to the heart. Resting one hand on top of the other over your heart space. If you're comfortable, closing the eyes, soften the shoulders. And again, directing the breath into the heart space. So let's come back to our chant, Om Shraddaya Namaha. We'll work with this 5 times. Exhale all breath. And then breathing in, take the arms out. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Again. Om Shraddaya Namaha. So 3 more. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Last one.
Shraddhaya Namaha. Just take a breath. And bring your hands into Namaskar Mudra. We're going to work through a few rounds of circle of joy. So on your next inhale, interlace your fingers, raise the elbows. And on the exhalation, bend the legs and take the arms forward. Inhale, take the arms above the head, stretching up tall. And exhale, float the arms down, interlacing the fingers behind. Breathe into the heart space as you pull the arms down. And as you exhale, just lift the arms up. Inhale, bring the palms back around in front. And exhale back to the heart. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, we're going to add a lateral stretch. So as we exhale, over to the left side. Breathe yourself back to center and over to the right. Back to center and float the arms down. Interlace your fingers. Breathe in. So you're pulling the arms down, and as you exhale, you're lifting the arms up. Inhale, bring the palms back in front, and exhale back to the heart. So I'll do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms above the head. And again, we're leaning over to the left. Come back to center. And over to the right. Back to center. And float the arms down. And we're going to add a forward fold. So we interlace the fingers, breathe into the heart. And as we exhale, we're coming forward. So legs can be bent or straight as we lift the arms up and over the head. Let's take one breath here. And then inhale, coming all the way up. Bring your palms in front. And exhale. And just take a breath. And release. All right, I'm going to turn sideways for this next flowing sequence, which you all know, it's, I think you all know, it's combining chair with a forward fold, Utkatasana with Uttanasana. So we'll do a few of these. So feet are hip width, nice tall spine, the shoulders are relaxed, tuck the chin in a little, face is soft. Let's exhale all breath. As we breathe in, we're raising the arms above the head. And as we exhale, we're coming into our imaginary chair. Inhale as we hold Utkatasana. And as we exhale, we come forward. So legs can stay bent or you can straighten them. Inhale as we lift up halfway. So fingers might be on the mat or on your shins. Exhale, fold, and we'll stay for a breath. Bend the legs, we come back into chair just for a moment, and then push down, standing tall, palms together, and exhale. Okay, so we'll do two more of these. Breathe in. Into our imaginary chair. Inhale. And tipping forward. Lifting up halfway.
and lower, and we'll stay for a breath. Bend your legs into chair, standing tall. Exhale. Last one. Pause here as you inhale and tipping forward. Lifting up halfway and lower and stay. Bend the legs into chair and back into Tadasana. And we'll take a breath or two here. Good. Let's release. All right. Let's take the legs a little wider apart now for the Tibetan yoga breath. And if you'd like to, we'll incorporate Om Shraddaya Namaha as we're exhaling. So turning to look down towards your left fingers and exhale all breath. So as we breathe in, we watch the left fingertips as they float up. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Turning to the right. Breathe in. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Let's keep going. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit this time, we'll inhale. And at the top of the inhale, you might like to try lifting the right foot off the floor, just a centimetre or two. So it's like a balance, stretching the right fingers down and then lower the foot. Om Shraddaya Namaha. And then we do the same to the right side. So breathing in. At the end of the inhale, lift that left foot up if you can. Just for a second or two. And then lower it down. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Let's try one more to each side. Om Shraddaya Namaha. Om Shraddaya Namaha. And just take a breath. And release.
Let's come to the backs of our mats now, standing into Tadasana, hands in prayer position once again. And we're going to go through our devotional salutes, and we're going to do 7 rounds. But of course, if you're a bit low in energy, you can always sit or lie down at any point and just visualize yourself doing the practice. And we're going to dedicate each round to something, different thing each time. So just standing now in Tadasana, in mountain pose, preparing yourself for this beautiful devotional practice. And the first round, we're going to dedicate to Isvara Pranidhana, or some form of the divine, universal consciousness, God, whatever term or idea works for you. So dedication to the divine. So let's exhale. Breathe in. So hands come to your third eye, to your heart, and you come down to the earth. Inhale, sitting up, nice straight spine. Exhale, extended child, coming to lie down on your tummy, palms together above the head. Breathe in, and then bend your arms. Straighten the arms into Sphinx. Straighten the arms. Hands back alongside your chest. Inhale, cobra. Back into extended child. Tuck your toes, hands alongside your knees. Inhale, come up. And hands back to the heart. And we just pause here. Second round, we dedicate to the idea of cleansing or forgiving either ourselves or someone else who we need to forgive. So the idea of cleansing or forgiveness for self or others. Release your arms, breathe in to your third eye, to your heart, and to the earth. Inhale, extended child. Come to lie down, palms together, breathe in, and bend your arms. Straighten the arms into Sphinx. Straighten the arms, hands back alongside your chest. Breathe in, push back. Tuck your toes. Inhale. And hands back to the heart. And take a breath or two here. So the third round we dedicate to someone whom we love dearly. So picture that person, dedicating this round to a loved one. Exhale, breathe in. To your forehead, to your heart, and to the earth. Inhale. Extended child, coming to lie down. Palms together, breathe in and bend your arms. Straighten into Sphinx. Straighten. Hands back alongside your chest. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Back into extended child. Tuck your toes, hands alongside your knees. Inhale. And hands to your heart. Fourth round, we dedicate to a stranger, or someone who we don't know very well. So just bring someone to mind that you'd like to dedicate this round to. And release your arms down. Inhale. To your third eye, to your heart, and to the earth. Inhale. Extended child. Coming to lie down. Breathe in and bend your arms. Straighten into Sphinx. Straighten. Hands back alongside your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck your toes. So the next round we dedicate to a challenge. So something in our life that we'd like to uplift or transform our perspective around. So this fifth round dedicated to a challenge that we are currently facing and need a bit of help with. So exhale your arms down, inhale. To your third eye, to your heart, and to the earth. Inhale, extended child, and coming to lie down, palms together. Breathe in and bend your arms. Straighten into Sphinx. Straighten. Hands back alongside your chest. Inhale. Push back. Standing up. And hands to your heart. So the sixth round we dedicate to gratitude. So something, think about something that you feel really grateful for in this moment. Dedicating this round to that thing or that person. So the idea of gratitude. So release your arms down. Breathe in. Into extended child. Coming to lie down. Breathe in and bend your arms. Straighten into Sphinx. Straighten. Hands back alongside your chest. Inhale. So the final seventh round we dedicate once again to is Vata Pranidhana, some form of the divine universal consciousness. Exhale. Inhale. Sliding on the floor. Inhale. Bend your arms. Straighten into Sphinx.
Straighten. Hands back alongside your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Coming up. And just taking 2 or 3 breaths here. Just noticing, observing how you feel in this moment. And release. Okay. One of my favorite practices, what we just did. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's come down and draw the knees into the chest. Give ourselves a lovely hug. Feel that your head, neck, and spine are in a straight line. Tuck the chin forward. And we're going to work with our chant one final time, just 3 rounds, taking the legs into the air, arms overhead, and then we'll chant back into this position. So let's exhale all breath. Breathing in. Om Shradaya Namah. 2 more. Om Shradaya Namah. Om Shradaya Namah. And we'll move into a twist. So you can either keep the feet in the air, or for a gentler twist, bring the feet down to the mat, arms at shoulder height. Inhale. And let's lower the knees over to the right side. We'll stay in the twist. So you might like to bring that right hand to the outer edge of the left knee. And you might like to turn your head to look towards your left fingers, if that feels okay for the neck. Let's come back to center and lower the knees over to the left side. Head may turn to the right. And slowly come back to center, and perhaps just some little rocks from side to side. And then we're going to set ourselves up for relaxation. So if there's any last little movement your body would like before resting, please feel free to do that now. And then just make sure that you are warm, that you have all the support you need, and I'll come up closer to you once again. Just sighing the breath away.
I'd like to just take a couple of deliberate, slow breaths in and just letting the breath go as you exhale. Allowing the body to settle down now into the support of Mother Earth. And when you are comfortable, I invite you to visualize yourself walking through a beautiful flowering garden on a lovely summer's day. You are barefoot and your feet are enjoying the feeling of the soft green grass. Blooms of every color surround you. And you inhale, welcoming the divine fragrance of these luscious blooms. Allowing the various scents to fill your senses. You continue walking through the garden until you find a comfy spot to lie down and rest. Above you, you are aware of the magnificent light of the sun. It feels warm, pleasant, and from it you sense a strong ray of light shining outward. This light swings towards you, and soon you are enveloped in its pure, comforting light. In this light, you feel divinity. You feel security. You feel trust. And you feel protected. You know that this light is filling you with faith, hope, love, and the purest and most magnificent feeling of peace. All is okay. You feel any anxiety, impatience, despair, fear, blocks, or resistance melt away. Feeling fully supported by all that is good. Let the light hold you. Let the light comfort you, support you. After some time, you know that it is time to leave this special garden. However, the shining, radiant light is still with you. It actually begins to move into your heart space, where it will stay, continuing to support you as you journey forward. Tears may form in your eyes, but they are in appreciation of the faith and love you feel connected to and now feel within you. Gratitude floods your being. You understand that you can trust your intuition to guide you, that you'll know exactly when to say yes and when to say no. This understanding fills you with a deep serenity. You know, anytime you get busy with life and forget, you can look into your heart and find that guidance and love emanating its miraculous strength within you. Slowly now feel yourself returning to your body, back in your physical space, feeling your toes and fingers and your back pressing into the floor. Taking a long, deliberate breath in and letting go as you exhale. When you feel ready, carefully rolling over to one side and just stay in a little ball for a moment. Hug your knees in. I'd like to share with you a poem from Dana Folds called Every Step is Holy. The journey from the known to unknown, from the unreal to the real, is rarely revealed in advance. The potholes, detours, false starts, and quick retreats are each honourable and even needed in the bigger scheme, in the forest that can't be seen between the trees. It took years for me to realise that the very twists and turns and shadows I labelled problems were really sacred ground. Grace disguised as obstacles. The whole pass a pilgrimage. Mysteries bearing themselves before me all along the way. So when you feel ready, I invite you to come on up to sit, but of course you can remain lying down if you're happy there. And if you do come to sit, just have your arms out to the side. And we'll take a deep breath in and raise the arms above the head. Bringing the hands down to your heart. Bowing the head towards your heart. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for joining with me tonight. Lots of love to you all. See you soon.